Didn't have to cut me off. Think I like it never happened, and that we were nothing. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger, and I feel so loved. No, you didn't have to stoop so low. Have your friends collect your tickets and then change your number. I guess that I don't need that though. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Oh shit!
A rare chase fail.
Yeah, I'll take it though.
Chasing his tail, man. But what is going on, you guys? It is Dollar Cost Crypto here with Women in Crypto ? What? It is good. It is a crazy thing, man. I've discovered one of the one or two only females in the crypto. No, I'm joking. No. There is actually quite a large amount of females in the crypto space. My calculation, it's probably like 1 to 3% or so. It could be even a little bit higher than that. But this is a mostly male-dominated space, though there are a lot of trans people out here, so I don't know anymore. I can't misgender people anymore. But welcome you guys to the show. But one quick thing, Chase, if you could just share my screen for 1 second. Crypto Mindset Vegas Meetup 2023 is happening August 4th through the 5th. We are going to be having a giant party here in the beautiful Las Vegas, and you guys are invited and stuff. All the money for the tickets is going to be used just to make the party awesome, as well as all these other events we're going to be doing afterwards as well. Cigar lounges, nightclubs, day pools, debauchery, fun, and networking. As well as, I mean, really is it's going to be a really fun time. Last time I think we threw like the third or fourth biggest like crypto party in Vegas in 2022. It was the bottom of a bear market and stuff, and it was just with our little crew right now. So tickets are selling out fast and stuff. We've sold quite a few and stuff. Me and Charlie are thinking about capping it somewhere between 200 to 300 people. Just so it doesn't get too crazy. But definitely sign up, you guys, now. Link is in the description below. But now, I want to bring up somebody that I've known for quite a long time in the Hex community. Miss Nerd Girl, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
No problem. So you came on here basically because someone was trolling you in one of my videos or something, or what was going on?
No, so in one of my threads, I don't even remember what the tweet was about. Someone tagged you and said, like, DC, do a stream about women in crypto. And I was thinking about, like, from everything that I know about you personally and some of your involvements outside of crypto with the red pill community, I was like, actually, that's a stream that we should do together. We could probably have some pretty, like, funny banter regarding that topic. So that's what we're doing. And then it also like pertains, I don't know, do you remember recently the CoinMarketCap writer wrote a review of Pulse Chain, and it was like, it was full of, you know, super inaccurate. It's been edited since then, actually. But Katie, KDP, who is another woman in crypto, right? She responded to him on Twitter, and then he quote tweeted her and said, crypto females are haram. CoinMarketCap doesn't agree with me, but we all know it's true. And so it was like, it's actually kind of an opportune moment to have this discussion.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of, obviously we're trolling them back and stuff because, I mean, you know, they've taken shots at us forever. I mean, what was it? The first time Hex launched, not a peep out of them. The day we launched, they have an article saying like Hex is a scam and everything like that. So I mean, this isn't the first time they've done this, and it's probably not going to be the last time and stuff. But I mean, it's pretty hilarious. I mean, what do you want to take this discussion? I mean, like, are women real in crypto? Like, I don't think it's true. No, so
I think the discussion should be around that topic, like, crypto females are haram. So you know what that means, right?
Oh no, I definitely know it. I definitely know what that means.
Okay, so it's for anybody who doesn't know, it's a term in Islamic law and Sharia. It means forbidden, and anything that's forbidden or illegal is haram, and anything that's acceptable is halal. So I actually, like, I don't know, before I got into cryptocurrency, I was in a PhD program, and my area of specialty was in Islamic law. So it was really funny.
What?
Yeah.
Only here, you guys. Only here. Literally, we got a PhD in haram. That's hilarious.
But so it was really like, so I actually had messaged a couple of different of my old professors saying, you know, what could be the reasoning or the logic behind saying crypto females are haram? Right. So I got various responses back, people saying things like, well, technically, if the woman is not a Muslim and doesn't live in an Islamic country, the laws of Sharia are completely, like, don't apply. So it's a mischaracterization in general, right? But obviously the person who said it either culturally or religiously holds those beliefs. So my next question is, what could some of the reasons be for that person to say crypto females are haram? Like, what makes a job haram? So broadly across the board, something that makes a job haram is, like, you know, involved in the processing, packaging, or distribution of pork, which is not, you know, which cannot be eaten by Muslims, right? So but pork doesn't have anything to do with crypto as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know. Another would be like any job in banking that involves the collection of interest. But there are numerous Muslims who are Hexicans who have kind of gotten into the smart contract because they were concerned originally because the term interest was used to describe payouts from stakes. But they're like, well, I guess it's fine for me to hold it, but it's not okay for me to stake it because then I'm earning interest. But the many Muslim scholars who are into Hex got into.
Can we stop for 1 second? I just love that term. The many Muslim scholars in Hex.
No, there are videos.
No, I know there are, but it's just hilarious to hear that out loud. Like, holy fuck, this stream is already going so left turn. Like, we've already, holy shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry. So they determined that because the interest comes from the inflation and not from payouts, unless someone EESs or something like that, that it's halal. It's fine for Muslims to stake Hex. So the next question about, like, what could make a job haram for a woman would be if she has to use her body or, like, put her physical self on display to succeed in that industry. So, like, models and actresses, that's definitely a no-no.
OF models.
Sorry, what?
OF models in crypto.
Yeah, right. So that's definitely a no-no. But, like, that said, there are plenty of women, myself included, who have used assets that are
Right.
this could be considered haram, right? Like posting a picture with cleavage or anything like that. So I guess I wanted to kind of get your take on that. I know that there's a lot of debate within crypto, within like everyone, about whether or not it's okay for a woman to use her sexuality to advance professionally. And I guess I wanted to have the conversation with you because I
Right.
know about your red pill involvement and all that.
Right. So this is going to be a really interesting conversation. So okay, so like yeah, I guess we have to break it down into multiple facets and stuff. So it's like there's like of course just intrinsically yeah, there's nothing wrong with women being in crypto. I mean, I've taught tons of women in the crypto mindset courses. I have no problem with it. But this is where so that's like on the norm, just human to human stuff. Yeah, it's no problem. Yeah, everyone should learn how to invest into crypto or make projects or NFT. I actually notice a lot more women are actually in the NFT side than I do any other sector.
For sure.
They're really big in the NFT side. But we have NFTs. Then I feel like I see a lot more public like developers, like women developers. But then from there, you have which I understand why. Like a lot of women kind of keep themselves outside of the influencer girls, who are just which are 99.999999999 German 9 are just using their bodies to like get followers and stuff like that. It's a lot. It's most all of them basically. I mean, it's. I mean, I hate. I mean, I don't want to. You can't say all right, but there is. You'd be hard pressed to find a girl that hasn't used her body to get followers and stuff like that. I mean, there's only a couple of them. Laurel Shen, I think that's her name. She's really smart. There's a couple of really great women in the crypto space, really informational and stuff, awesome people and stuff like that. I've got nothing but good respect for them, but there isn't that many really. And even some of them that are the good ones, right? The good ones, right? The good ones, right? Still use a little bit, which is okay. I mean, it's fine. I mean, you're like, it is who you are. It is, if you are pretty, but there's a really weird gray line there where like, you're just pretty already, and then you're just doing content and stuff, and you're trying to be informational, perfect, versus you're thirst trapping, trying to create simp DAOs in the space, which some girls have, and then some girls are obviously pretending that like they're more innocent than they really are. I mean, we just recently had BitBoy basically calling out crypto finally for being a fucking whore for sleeping around with it. Like that actually, I was shocked that happened. That may have been like a whole like a joke or something like that, but there's like pictures of like crypto finally or whatever, like hopping around like Charles Hoskinson's lap and stuff during the Litecoin. Like I was there too. Actually, I was there too. I was there. Yeah, I think this was when 2019 or 2020, basically.
So that was in New York. That
was at the Cosmopolitan. That was at the Cosmopolitan.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Vegas.
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, Cosmopolitan in Vegas and stuff, and pretty freaking hilarious at the chandelier bar and stuff like that. And that's like a famous picture. But hey, whatever. What it is what it is, right? But it was kind of funny seeing BitBoy kind of like tag her. I was like, bro, you're a fucking harlot full of shit, bitch, and shit and stuff. You're over here just hopping from dick, and it doesn't matter. But it's like some of these dudes are married, bro. What are you doing? Like damn. So there's all that side, right? And then there's the informational side. So it's obvious. So in terms, just to go back to the original point, right? There's nothing wrong with a woman learning about crypto. It's fine. But women do have like sexual energy, of course, right? And there's nothing wrong with like showing a little bit of that. But then there's a point where like it's basically they're doing it to take advantage and like gain notoriety in the space and stuff. And this is why, like I've said a lot of times, and I think maybe you probably have heard me on my stream say this before, that crypto women in the influencer space, not as investors, but in the influencer space, they age like rotten milk. Basically, like they're usually they're here for one cycle and that's it, and they get rolled out. It's really rare when a girl can actually keep their kind of like spot in the space and stuff like that. It's like. And sometimes I notice that they really only last 2 years, really. So it's 2 years and then they're out, basically, because there's always a younger, fresher girl to come into the space and stuff. Because crypto, if you guys haven't seen by the bags in my eyes and stuff, anyone who actually does crypto, you don't get much sleep sometimes. And your sleep schedule gets really messed up. So that's not good for your face and your beauty and stuff. So what ends up happening is like these girls start getting older and they're traveling a lot, and you start seeing it really quickly because a girl that was really pretty 4 years ago in crypto today looks like a fucking hag compared to the new girl coming up and stuff. And then this is why like there's so much catfighting where like I mean I see it too, like there's girl on girl action in the crypto space.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that that's generally true, not just in crypto, where like women are just, I don't know, we're like engineered to view each other as the competition, right? So like in like, I don't know, be really mean and catty with each other. I've never had a lot of girlfriends, probably like for that exact reason, you know? I just don't like it. But I think I see what you're saying. Like women who use their appearance to gain a following or notoriety in crypto and then continue to do that without adding any substance age out. Yes. Whereas other women either don't use their appearance and gain notoriety only through the substance they add, and then they are able to stay perpetually in, or women who may use their appearance to gain but continue to add. Because I think what you're saying, like there's a longevity or like a lifespan, and the lifespan of the woman who just uses her appearance and that's all she has to add is very short.
Yeah, and I've only seen it being like usually in any other industry. I mean, like if you're really pretty, you can stay in the industry and be kind of on top for a long time, right? I mean, like a 10-year, 12-year span. But in crypto, it's really weird. I mean, it has to do with lack of sleep. It's the only thing in my mind that I think is what's going on is that it really has to do with that, as well as and I get really scared too because like there's girls that just completely rely on looks in the crypto space, and they're complete like dummies when it comes to crypto. Giving very, very bad advice. And then there's another reason why it's like such a trope as well, is that a lot of, and we're talking about influencer girls, not normal chicks, just influencer girls, is that they get roped into shilling bullshit projects. A lot of them, and a lot of them are just basically like dumb models. They get hired to talk about the coin and stuff like that. And eventually they do learn about the coin and stuff, but then they don't have the common sense of like they didn't just come to the coin naturally because they like it. It's not like, oh, this is the portfolio of coins that I like and stuff like that, right? I mean, I know I'm gonna get tagged in some crazy shit for this video already. I already know, I mean, God damn it.
What? Say it. Come on.
All right. The last really crazy bitch I fucking talked to in the crypto space, like Jenna X and stuff from like XRP. God damn, that was a headache. That was a fucking headache talking to her. Now she is like, she's one of the energetic. She is so energetic and stuff like that. I think she will stay around for a long time. Her and stuff, because it isn't just a phase for her and stuff. She actually does like this stuff. But man, there's some man, she was crazy. Holy fuck. She it is one of the crazy, I started screaming on the stream because how much my head started hurting. I was like, what the fuck? She was saying gibberish for 25 fucking minutes until I told her what the fuck are you saying? It's and then there's that level, and that's pretty crazy. That's crazy. She's pretty. She's pretty and stuff like that. That's why a lot of guys watch her and stuff. She's shilling XRP, and then there's so few influencers left shilling XRP still. But she's still out here and stuff like that. But more power to her, man. She caught her lane, right? So she's got staying power and stuff. But man, to have a conversation with her, that was I'm having like Vietnam flashbacks trying to think about that conversation.
Well, I've never seen that conversation, so I don't know. I don't know. I've seen her on Twitter, but I don't interact with her very often just because I just don't want to get into it. But I guess, so I'm trying to figure out where I wanted this conversation to go. I guess I thought that your position would be more like, no, women don't belong in crypto. They belong in the kitchen,
No. I mean, blessed be thy bags for future and stuff, Lord Mahogany, right? But no. I mean, equal opportunity. I want everyone to get into the space and stuff. I mean, everyone has to learn about money. It's great. We're not going to escape the matrix, or we're not going to at least escape these shackles of slavery that we're all in, digital slavery that we're heading towards with central bank digital currencies and stuff, without the help of everybody. But it is mostly going to be the back off. I mean, it's going to be off the backs of men basically standing up and saying that we're not, like, this is fucking bullshit. We are not going to take this. And then the women are just going to follow us into that, because that's where anytime that there's like successful, there's like a classic line from Rollo Tomassi, right? Like, women wait for the winners at the end of the race and fuck the winners and stuff. Like it's that classic thing. So it's like the guys who are super successful make all the money from crypto. This is why like this space is so dominated, because men see like, holy, there's a big opportunity here to make a shit ton of money. Maybe it's make a lot of money. Some guys are like getting money and clout, and other guys, maybe infamy or whatever. There's these lanes basically that people can get, and they're like, wow, this industry is pretty small right now. We're talking about a $1.3 trillion market cap industry. We're probably heading to in the next 20 years, we're probably heading to 100 trillion, right? And that's quite substantial. So when the industry is that big, like if I'm this little peon here and I stay here, like I'll be really rich. And then on top of that, since I've been here forever, I'll actually have some clout. Maybe maybe one day my dick will get wet, the classic, for the nerd guy, right?
Yeah.
There's hope out here, right? So, I mean, this is kind of why like this is a really male-dominated space. But on top of that, it's finance and stuff, which is already like men really care about those kind of things. We care about things, women care about people, right? So this space already lends itself to be male-dominated anyway, right? So,
yeah. You said something like you think it's like 1 or 2% of the people in crypto are women. I think that there was a study conducted like in 2018 that showed it was closer to like 10%. In my interactions with people, because I work in cryptocurrency, in addition to like having invested in it myself, in my interactions with people, I would say like the amount of interactions that I have with professional women in cryptocurrency is probably more than you would expect. However, that is probably because companies, like whenever a woman is like, they're looking to fill diversity roles and they want to hire women to work there so that they could be like, hey, we have a woman who works here,
Yeah.
Even like the company that I work for, I'm the only female who works there. But I'm still in a lot of the meetings. So it may seem proportionally off. And particularly in like forward facing roles, they want to put women in executive positions, in forward facing roles, so that it looks more even, so that it doesn't look like such a sausage fest.
Right. But it is what it is. I mean, like actually, I would like, because like I've never worked for a crypto company. I've only made them and stuff. So like entrepreneur and stuff. But explain the quotas a little bit, because I know there's race quotas, right? There's race quota. I mean, there's quotas for everything, right? But like there is like we need a certain amount of diversity. What does that mean?
Right.
Brown people. Oh, okay. We need a certain amount of womans, right? Like what are the quotas have you seen? Or have you actually ever heard of people talking about that?
I have not heard of a company like deliberately hiring to meet a quota or talk about what their quota is, but it definitely is the case that if someone who breaks the mold applies for a position and is qualified, they're almost certainly going to get that job. Now, maybe they don't even have to be qualified if they fit a certain criteria, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, if
they're qualified and they're different, they're getting the job.
Right. I mean, let me tell you this. Like, so I've said, this is a famous quote that I said back in the day, right? Oh boy, here we go. So the higher the hex price, the hotter the women are going to get. I said that a long time ago, right? And it's because what did I say, right? When the price is real low, no one gives a single fuck. But when the price is very high and there's a lot of money, now this like shout out to Rollo Tomassi, right? I've learned a lot from Rollo and stuff. Godfather of the red pill, and I'm friends with Fresh and Fit. I'm friends with everybody, the who's who of the red pill. I'm the red pill of finance, but like we're in the overall red pill space. Mm-hmm. There is how do I say it? Basically, there's a lot of push for equality and stuff. Like we want a certain amount of people, quotas in these jobs, but women tend to only want to actually get hired in these big positions and stuff where there's cushy jobs. So it's high paying jobs with or very I would say clout based jobs, basically. Like, oh, this job makes me look very good, that's why I want it and stuff. So, but there isn't an equality to get really shitty jobs, right? That's like the famous like Jordan Peterson quote, like, why isn't like 99.9% of bricklayers are men? When are we going to get to the quota of 50% bricklayer women? When are we going to get all the women back into the coal mines? When are we going to get all the women, and it's true. It's because that's the jobs they want. Like the women only wanted to get into construction when there was AC was created in the front office, right? There's that level of it, right? But we're heading to a tech world and stuff. So I mean that's fair game. Like that's why the tech side I don't really mind too much, because that makes sense to me. Like of course, like I mean everyone's in an AC room. It doesn't matter. They're like, oh my God, I had a code for 5 hours, 8 hours today and shit. Like everyone does. Like that's fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people ask me this question all the time, and I've written about this. People are like, oh, what's it like to be a woman in crypto? What kind of discrimination do you face? And I'm always like, I don't know. I've only ever been a woman in crypto. So like, it's impossible for me to, I could be like, oh, this is discrimination, or this, I get discriminated, or this is different, and this is different. But the reality is that I have no idea what it's like to be a man in crypto. So it's impossible for me to talk about the differences in being, in what it's like to be female. I asked Eric Wall about this once, and I wrote like a big thing about it. And because he is like transgender online, where he's like switches back.
Erica Wall?
Erica Wall. And he said that, a lot of people tend to think that you just gain more followers really easily when you're a woman in crypto, but that his experience is that when he has, when he's Erica Wall, he actually loses followers faster.
Because America doesn't agree with this transgender agenda. We ain't drinking the Bud Light, boys. No Island Boys here, you guys. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, he said that he thinks that people think, like, he'll make a sarcastic response that if made as Eric Wall, people just assume is like sarcastic and funny and they get the joke. But if he makes the comment as Erica, people think like, who is this dumb bitch? And so he actually says that the notion that being a woman on Twitter or on crypto Twitter is Twitter on easy mode is a mistake. And like, I would tend to agree. I mean, I guess if you're just posting photos and that's all you're trying to do to gain followers.
Well,
then
I can't completely agree with that. No, wait, hold on. I can't completely agree with that shit. Like I can't. So okay. If Erica Wall was really Erica Wall, right? If people knew that she was the reason he lost followers is because there was dudes that were following Eric Wall. They were like, "What the fuck, bro? You went transgender on us?" I know this is a joke, but this is fucking weird, dude. That's why they unfollowed.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
100%. Like, of course, like I like Eric Wall. I mean, I met him in Miami and stuff. We're having fun. We went to a bunch of parties. He's a cool dude. He's a lot funnier. He's a lot funnier when he's drunk. Shout out to Eric. But legitimately, it's because everyone knows he's a fucking dude. And then he changes shit to his picture. It's a meme and a joke, right? And it was to get attention and stuff. That's totally fine. But there's the reason he lost followers was because some people are like, bro, I don't want to see this shit. Legitimate. I mean, like, dude. I mean, look what happened with Bud Light. Look what happened with with Target and stuff. Both these companies have lost like $15 billion each, just from. It's because I mean, I'm not going to go too much into it and stuff like that. Like for me, live your life, whatever. Just don't influence people like with that shit. If you want, that's your life. Like I have gay cousins and lesbian cousins and stuff. I love them very much. But like even then they were like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people who are very against the way that the agenda is being pushed right now.
Right. Now, all right. Okay. Oh, whatever. Let's go misogynist. Why not? Let's say the truth, right? The truth, right? It is easier to get followers and outreach if you are a girl in crypto. Okay? Now, most guys in crypto, they just want to see you with doing like dumb stuff, like showing your body off and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you actually do have thoughts and stuff, it is easier to get your ideas out there, right? But let me tell you this: that we have sort of we like one thing that you're seeing as well as like other people are seeing is that we have sort of a weird because you've worked really hard to get the influence that you have and stuff like that. It's not easy to get it, right? And you've worked hard for it, right? But let me tell you this. Any guy that you see that does have any influence had to work unbelievably harder, because society overall doesn't give a single fuck about us at all. You actually have to be special as a guy. So we have sort of a weird thing where, like, you're seeing anyone that's actually having any clout in any ecosystem is because they've worked really, really, really hard at it and actually had to be pretty spectacular at it, or be retardedly good look, or like it had to be like intangibles, or like this like talent, like so it's like if the average human is average, right? That means the average girl that's a crypto girl is average or below average. Now I'm not talking about looks, I'm just talking about their ideas. So they're like, what the fuck? Why am I not getting more clout and stuff? I'm a chick and stuff. Well, like, bitch, you're fucking average. Your ideas are fucking average. Like, what are we talking about? When you see a guy that's really going crazy on YouTube or Twitter and stuff, it's because that person's been around crypto for such a long time that he is hitting on a nerve and a vein there, because he has been pre-selected by people who follow him to get that shit that viral. Outside of I know there's we all know that like Google and some, they push people. We know that's real. That is real. Sure. But let's call a spade here and stuff like that. Like, a lot of the guys you see that are actually popping off on crypto Twitter and stuff like that is because they were grinding for a long time where no one gave a single fuck about them at all. That's facts. And then as a woman, it's easier for you to be seen. Now, if your ideas are just dog shit, they'll just not go anywhere. But at least you'll still get you posting something. You'll still get more attention than the average guy. Sure. Now, yeah, right. And then if you do have a crazy good idea, it does go viral. And I'm super happy about that. But so women start seeing like, oh wait, my brain posts aren't really going viral. Let me show a little more cleavage, let me go a little more lewd now and stuff like that, and then it starts picking up and stuff. But then some girls are like so bad where they're like, fuck, I'm just gonna lean 100% into it, and then they burn the candle at both ends, and now they rolled out, and it's like the same thing. Like, why are kids like killing themselves right now because of their moms being on OnlyFans, right? Because they took the fucking shortcut. They took the shortcut to get the $1 million, right? Okay, and then and this is not every, but I'm just saying on average, right? Sure. It's so much harder. If you see any guy that's popping off, he had to have fought you don't know the struggle a guy has had to do to get it, because we start off with zero value as guys. Mm-hmm. An 18-year-old isn't worth shit. You can be an 18, and this is a classic Andrew Tate thing, or just shout out to Justin Waller. But you're an 18-year-old, 20-year-old bimbo can get on the fucking yacht of a billionaire's yacht or whatever, or a dude that's really, really rich or something like that, and get on the yacht and hasn't done nothing with their fucking life. That same 18-year-old has to either be the brother, the cousin, or a good friend of somebody who's already going on that yacht. And that guy who bought that yacht has worked unbelievably amount. The amount of work that guy had to do to get that yacht is insane. Queen, this is Andrew Tate quote right here, right? The queen can move across the board in one step. The king moves one step at a time. But the most important piece on the board is the king. But people don't see how much work that peasant had to do to become a king. Okay. It was a lot.
So it's because men don't have the option of using the shortcut that when women use the shortcut, it cheapens them?
Say that. I'm so sorry. I had a static. Can you say that again?
So men don't have the shortcut option that women have, right? So if women use the shortcut, cheapens their value.
There is a shortcut. I'm trying to be fair right here. There is a shortcut for guys, right? And they're called blue pilled alphas or red pill alphas. There's guys that are intrinsically very good looking, very, very, very good looking, but there's not that many of them. They're a very small portion, but there is really just naturally oh, dude, that guy's a Chad. Holy fuck. It is easier for them. The same thing happens to them if they don't work on themselves. Right? They become masseuses and they're fucking old ladies. Or there is, you see the classic stuff, this guy, a really good looking guy at the office and stuff. He's kind of stupid and stuff. And we've heard these tropes and stuff, but they are real. They are real, by the way. It's just not it's not the easiest lane, because the way society works is that females are the most precious thing on the planet, right? So it's just just intrinsically, like they're just given more rights on that side because they're so valuable. Because I mean, if you do like biological tests on people, right, you have twice as many grandmas as you do grandfathers, right? So the average guy, like 50% of the population wasn't getting laid, and the average guy who was getting laid had 2 kids. So because you guys are pre-selecting, so that means there's a lot of females. Like the average. I mean, now this isn't completely accurate, but it's like the average female was having like 1.5 kids. Basically, right? So that means like I'd have 2 families. You know, I'm Hispanic. I'm doing real bad right now. I don't have 2 families right now. My father, by my age, already had like 2 families. My grandfather had 3. Dude, I'm doing real bad right now. You know, so like, you know, shame on me. This is haram. But yeah.
Yes, crypto males are haram.
Crypto males are haram, dude. I'm doing real bad at it. I should have 2 families by now, and I'm on the back 9 right now. I'm working really hard. That's why I'm in the crypto space. You know, I'm like, you know, things are real tough right now. You know, I mean, I should already have like a bunch of illegitimate kids right now. I should have like, you know, hey, you know, I'm working at it. You know.
Yeah. Are you though?
No, I am. I mean, this is I mean, all jokes aside, I really do push this whole thing about actually having a family. You know, and congratulations to you. I know you have, you know, your kids and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. But and I don't want to go into that with the kids because I just want to stay respectful for anyone. You know, like I don't like talking about people's, you know, children and stuff. You know, not without like them unless they bring it up or something like that, right? But
no, I'm pretty public about having one daughter. She's going to be 12 next month.
Did you end up going on that Disneyland trip and stuff that you talked about?
Yes, we did. Yeah. We went to Disney World. It was like, I remember actually like telling you, because I was yield farming stables like really early when, you know, when that wasn't a thing that everyone was doing. So the interest was higher. And I was like, I remember talking to you about it because I was like, my plan is just to yield farm stables and earn enough so that I can pay for this Disney World trip. And you were like, that like reminds me of something that my parents did. Right. But yeah, we did. We went to Disney World. It was great.
Yeah, because I mean, there's like a classic story, right? I tell my guys like, you shouldn't be spending your money on these girls, but if you are, like, buy crypto in the bear market. Like, so whatever it is, right? Okay, let's just say I want to buy this girl purse. I want to go on this vacation, right? I want to go to whatever the hell you want to do. Divide it by 5, put that much money into a crypto, wait 2 years, sell it, and you go have your vacation, right? I mean, that's the I mean, like, getting a 5x in crypto is pretty, like, you can do it. It's not hard, right? It's just just a waiting game, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, a 5x should be nothing.
It should be nothing and stuff. But it is significant. But it is significant if you are putting a good portion of your passive income or not passive income, sorry, your active income into crypto. It is pretty significant once you get that 5x. People discount how much having like even a 3x. If all your money is going into crypto and you get a 3x, wow, it is a lot. You are changing your life quite a bit. But I mean, everyone is dreaming to get those millions and millions and millions of dollars, right?
Yeah. It's like not enough if it doubles, right? Like you double your money and you're like, that's nothing. No, my rule of thumb has always been like, if I don't look at my portfolio every day. I know like that sounds haram, right? Like, because if you're not checking your portfolio multiple times a day, what are you doing? But I've never been one of those people who like checks my balance multiple times or like looks at the price multiple times because I thought of crypto as like a long-term investment or retirement plan where like if you have your money in a 401k, you're not checking the price every day. You're just not because it's your long-term plan. So my general rule of thumb for profit taking has always been if I happen to open my portfolio and I think, holy shit, that's a lot of money, then I should take profits.
I mean, that's actually smart. That's actually pretty smart. Yeah, because I usually look at when everyone's like, it's so fucking, I wish it wasn't the case. I really wish it wasn't the case. But if everyone's happy, god damn it, it's probably a great time to sell. It really is. It's like everyone's too happy. And it's just, it pisses me off. Like, why can't we all be happy? You know, like when we were doing the Hex Flex stuff, I mean, it was euphoric, right? Everyone was like, I was so happy for everybody. But like, you know, we had anonymous accounts showing their T-shirts for no reason. I don't have no idea why they were doing that, but they were like, these anonymous accounts were showing their T-shirts. It's like, I'm worth $100 million or $200 million now. Like, bro, it was like, it's so, I mean, but it's like hindsight's 2020, of course, right? But
yeah, but I mean, okay, so peak, like sign of euphoria. I think you were in this video. Was, you know, remember that video that Freddie made that was the Furu's eulogy?
Yeah, I wasn't in it.
Okay,
But
you weren't in it? Okay. Yeah, so I was like, profit time.
Yo, shout out to Nerd Girl, man. She's out traded 90% of Hexagons. Holy shit.
Well, okay, I don't know if you remember this, but I posted at one point, like, take profits, dummies. And like, man, so many people got so mad at me for saying like, oh, fuck you, you're gonna get people wrecked. And I was like, well, taking profits doesn't mean getting 100% out of the market. And you essentially can't get wrecked if you take profits. That's kind of the whole point, you know?
Have you listened to what Nerd Girl just said right now? This ain't no simping shit. She is legitimately like laying facts down right now. This is real. This is real. No, this is really like. And then I've heard people say like DCAing is dumb and stuff like, but people don't understand dynamic DCAing and stuff. So it's like you don't DCA into a coin to at least it's down 80%, at least. And we're talking about bear market lows. We're not talking about like brand new tokens or stuff. You know, there's different rules for different coins, and we teach all that stuff. But you know, you start the DCA, but the DCA that you start at 80% is very light, very light. And as it goes lower and lower, you go harder in the paint until like if you see something that's structurally wrong with, let me stop now. Like actually, I might actually be dead now, or like there's got to be like a kill shot somewhere there, right? But yeah, with Hex and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, like I got so much flack for basically calling people stupid for emergency unstaking all their eHex. And I basically said the only people that can really emergency unstake and where it could actually be profitable for them is basically people who are like big dolphins, sharks, and whales. That's it. The average guy in Hex couldn't emergency unstake. The money he was emergency unstaking it's like bullshit. I mean, it's not that like $1,000 maybe at most, $500 and like it's really really stupid. Now, I never chastise anyone for selling their eHex for like getting to Pulse Chain and like there's people like you need to get coins. I totally understand that. Yeah. But man, that really rubbed people the wrong way. Like I did this whole video where I'm doing the Island Boys thing. You know, I'm turning it to 13 or 14, right? Like I was in the middle of teaching a fucking course, and then I'm just seeing everyone being completely fucking retarded in the Hex community. Like I was like, I didn't think levels of retardation could hit that high. Like I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I didn't think years of preaching. I mean, let me put my priest collar on real quick. But years and years, you know, Father Gaines here, but years of like preaching the good word, being a good hexagon, staking, you know, taking profits and stuff. Like I was getting chastised early in the Hex community for telling people not to stake all their fucking Hex. Yeah. Crazy, right? Oh my God. Like now everyone's a liquid maxi now. Look at that. Magic. What happened? Don't trade. Why are you yield farming? Why are you ratio trading? Yep. Don't invest into shit coins. What happened, you guys?
Yep. Well, I mean, okay, you and I were always on that different, like you were never a maximalist and I was never a maximalist. I even remember, I think it was like the second time that I met you, it was during a Discourse Syndicate. And it was, I think, the second time that I came on DS, and like the guys were, the rest of the guys, they were all, whether they still are or not is irrelevant, but they were all super maximalist. And I was like, okay, so who here is going to get mad at me for not becoming a maximalist? And then I was like, oh, you won't. Like we're good.
Yeah, I was called Litecoin Moses back in the day.
Yeah, I remember. And then it became like you were like Hex Jesus for a while, and then I was like, well, were you Bitcoin Noah or something? Like moving up the profit chain or what?
Originally, my original name in crypto was Dogecoin Muhammad.
Really?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
It was Dogecoin Muhammad, Litecoin Moses, Hex Jesus, dollar cost crypto. And I've been called Father Gaines. I've been like, I have all these like I have these biblical names and stuff. It's kind of funny. It's just like, but yeah. I mean, literally, I started the original community that I found on Twitter was actually the Dogecoin community because I actually had quite a lot of Doge back in the day. Sold it early, of course, right? But I mean, there's all these classic stories and stuff. But it made a pretty decent amount with Litecoin and stuff. I mean, you just had to. I mean, all you had to do is log into Coinbase back in 16, 17. If you just bought Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. You had to do nothing else. Like times are so simpler back then. It was like man, it was so simple back then. It was just, I mean, we're talking 50 cent Ethereum. I remember that 50 cent. The cheapest Ethereum I bought was $2. Litecoin I did buy it in the penny range. I think it was like 80 cents or 50 cents, somewhere in that range. Bitcoin was like $500 or $400 at the time.
So when I got in, it was like $12.16 Ethereum, and Bitcoin was like 600.
Yeah.
And Litecoin wasn't even listed on Coinbase yet.
Yeah, until Charlie Lee listed it. No.
Yeah.
I think maybe that may be in jurisdiction on states or something like that, because like Charlie Lee was like the first engineer at Coinbase.
Yep.
And you want to know something pretty crazy? Because I was going to all these Litecoin conferences. There was like two of them, right? I think one in San Francisco, and the other one was in the Cosmopolitan there and Vegas. And I got to talk to Charlie Lee's brother, good guy. I mean, basically, he created the first Chinese exchange, and they stole it from him, which is pretty insane and stuff like that. Like he has he has a project now. He has like a hard wallet, like it's like a metal card and stuff called ballot wallet or something. I think it's still around and stuff like that. He's still doing. It's basically he's created a more physical version of a paper wallet, effectively, and stuff. Like he's a good dude, but it's kind of crazy. Like I mean, that's how early they were in the crypto space. I mean, they basically he had the first fucking like Chinese exchange in China, and they fucking stole it from him. It's crazy. It's insanity, right? And his brother ends up being the first engineer for Coinbase.
Yeah.
Insane. Like that's quite a paradigm. And then on top of that, like I mean, like if you actually look at what Charlie Lee did, he actually told you when to sell Litecoin, and then he told you when to buy it again at the bottom, which I did both. Like that's the crazy. Like I did pretty good with that. But then here's the problem: is that you're like, oh, like being inexperienced, I rebought back in.
Right.
And then it just kept going down. So I was like, wow, it hit $420, $200, $180 is a fucking steal. Let's keep buying. And then, it crashes to like, $25 or $22. Yeah.
Yeah. I bought Ethereum that year, like from that $12 initial buy-in all the way up to like 400. And then, it went to 1,200 that year. It was 2016 when I got in. It went to 1,200 in 2017. Or 2018, maybe, or like January of 2018. And I held it all the way down because I bought that narrative of like, it's the future. And if you sell for fiat, then like you're just
a trader.
Yeah, you didn't really get into it because you believed in decentralization of money. And then after having gone through that whole that whole bear cycle with like no money, I told myself I was never going to do that again. And like was the whole time, like, there were some people who were like, oh, I'm 100% stake text. I'm never taking profits, never selling. And then of course they sold and people got mad at them. But it's like, but if you said that you were selling, or like, yeah, my intention is to sell, because really like, yeah, I believe in the decentralization of money. I think that we need to get like banks and governments out of our wallets. But at the same time, I got into crypto so that I could make my life easier for myself and my daughter. And if I don't take profits, then I'm not doing that. Then I'm failed at my objective. And like, it really is this thing that's about freedom, right? Like cryptocurrency, there's the big freedom movement that's associated with cryptocurrency, but freedom in this world that we live in here and now means having money. And if you don't
economic energy.
Economic energy. And here's like a great example, right? A lot of people were like against getting the vaccine, or they were worried about getting the vaccine, right? Because it was untested and they didn't want to get it, but they were employed by companies that said, hey, you can't work here anymore unless you get vaccinated. Well, if you had money, then you could tell the company to shove it,
Right.
It really is like analogous to freedom. And if you don't take precautions to make sure that you're safe, then you fail the freedom test either way.
Right. No, and that's exactly, I think we sometimes forget that. But I mean, but the thing is like, this is why cryptocurrencies are so powerful. It's a fusion of everything. I mean, it's like a sports team mixed in with a stock mixed in with a religion and money and money all into one.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I mean, this is why I like crypto so much and stuff. Like, I mean, I like boxing. I like these fighting sports and stuff like that. But like, I've never been that much of a I never really watched basketball that much or like football. But like as an example, right? Let's just say you're a big Raiders fan as an example, because Las Vegas Raiders just moved over here, right? Or an A's fan, right? If the A's win, or like let's just say the Raiders win the Super Bowl, what the fuck do you get? Nothing. I mean, what, like, oh, my team beat your team, ha ha ha.
Right.
What did you? I mean, now if you say my coin made the most gains this last bull cycle, what did you get? Rich as fuck, or at least you had the opportunity, you had the money in your fucking hand, right? Like it's like I think that's what this is why this is the best game. This is the best, whatever you want to call it. Even if you want to call it like whatever, like, crypto is the best game because it fuses everything together. Camaraderie. I mean, it's just like this community you build. You're gonna make lifelong friends. You can make a lot of money and stuff. You can invest in these coins, these crazy gains, and you can change your life. Right, but people forget that. Now there is people here that are creating all these bad narratives and stuff, and like there's nothing wrong. Like, look, a lot of I would say half the guys that were telling people to stake five, like I'm not just joking around about 555, but create a ladder and stake it all. Don't have any liquid hex. Nothing wrong with that. The other half of the guys really pushed it on a lot of the newbies and stuff as like because they were trying to use them as extra liquidity.
Yeah.
And like they're being very disingenuous about it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So.
I said that I did like a hex talk at Maddie's virtual hex conference, and I was talking about why the smartest way to use the hex smart contract, like the best way to use the hex smart contract, is to take advantage of both the lending and the borrowing. So like what you're staking is you like lending to your future or borrowing against your present self for your future. And when you're holding liquid, it's like lending yourself money from the future. And I said, there were like a lot of people who were saying 100% staked is the only way. You're not a hexagon if you're not. And the reality is that those people, whether they did it intentionally or not, and I'm sure that some of it was innocent and they were just dumb.
Yeah.
But that just like other crypto influencers, they use their audience and they take advantage of their audience and use them as exit liquidity while pointing fingers at other gurus and stuff. And it's like, they just did the exact same thing that they accuse everyone else of.
Right. Now, okay. So during when Hex was created, right? Mm-hmm. Most of the guys that were influencers in the Hex space and stuff like that was their first cycle, legitimately.
Yeah, I know.
It was their first cycle. Like literally, like they came into the market, got into Hex in let's just say 2020 realistically, or like of course December 2nd or something. But let's just say 2020 for the real part. That was their first real cycle. And they became influencers and they didn't know what they're doing. And it's like, the thing is like, it is a school of hard knocks. Like when you are an influencer or you are a teacher and stuff like that, you have to learn how to be in charge of a big group or understand influence and stuff. It's tough. It's not easy. Like, that's why I don't really like, I'm not trying to shit on these guys or anything like that or anybody, because like I'm pretty sure if I was an influencer back in 2016, 2017, I would have got a fuck ton of people wrecked. For sure. I mean, anyone who listened to me would have made a lot of money, but then like, I would have had like, I wouldn't have known to like, damn dude, like things like things are going to keep, because the people don't realize from that side, like, because me and you both were in that in that cycle, that 2017 cycle. It was so different. It was like, you really felt like the prices were going up so crazy. You were like, we're going to take over the world. Holy shit. Bitcoin's going to be like, I was like literally losing sleep at night going like, holy fuck, do I have enough Bitcoin and Ethereum? And like, it was like, fuck, man, once this takes over all currency and stuff, like, do I have enough money? Do I have enough money right now?
To let my dog outside.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. Do I have enough money right now to actually be able to like have my position and status, because everyone's taking these coins and stuff, and this is going to become the real world currency of the planet. And so like, this is kind of like this is kind of like the crazy like mentality that we had, and we haven't had that since, but yeah. People don't understand. It was the weirdest. It was like, you really felt like, holy shit, it's going to happen. It's like we're taking over now.
Yeah, it did. It felt like there was this like paradigm shift. And I definitely agree with you that it didn't feel like that in this last cycle. It was like, we're getting rich,
yeah, Hey, but not too shabby. That's not the worst thing in the world, right? We're getting rich, but yeah, it's a little. I think people kind of woke up a little bit from like the last cycle, right? Because people got sunned. But now it's gonna be really interesting to see a lot of the Hex influencers or Pulse influencers now. This is their second cycle. We're gonna see how they act now. Because like I can forgive a lot of stuff people did in the first, because of this last cycle, because it was everyone's first cycle, but now a lot of these guys have been around in YouTube for a while. Now we're gonna see how they act. This is gonna be interesting because they should know better now. right?
Yeah.
And they're going to sell. And this is across the board. I'm not just like the Mexican community has been pretty good with this. I mean, it hasn't been bad. Like any bad calls or something, just out of ignorance or just like you for it because you love your coin, right? But there's going to be quite a lot of a shilling of it. I mean, there's a lot of tokens coming out over the next year or two, right? And there's a lot of shit, you've seen it and stuff, a lot of coin. People are just jumping from coin to coin to coin to coin, talking about this or that and stuff, trying to get all their people into it and stuff and just getting wrecked, or they're getting paid on the back end. And so there's nothing wrong with talking about coins. And like, if I think this coin's going to do well, I'm going to talk about it. Right. But there's another thing too, where they're getting money on the side to be they're part of the promotional team.
Yeah. Yeah. That I think is a problem, like undisclosed promotions. Right. So like, I remember getting a lot of like shit early on in the Hex community because I would talk about other things and I would be like, listen, I'm talking about other things that I either hold like because I think it's good or that I think is interesting. Like sometimes I was just talking about things because I was like, this is interesting. I didn't even have any of it, but like the concept behind it was interesting. I've never like accepted money to promote something. Oh, the only time I didn't accept money. I accepted a network exchange.
A network exchange? What do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So like I needed access to someone else's network and they wanted me to make you. Okay. So that like that TikTok video that I made for Hex that at the height of the market was worth $1 million, by the way. Like I made $1 million meme. Not that I sold it, of course, but, I made $1 million meme. So like that video, obviously like it went pretty viral. Like a lot of different cryptos like reached out wanting me, or communities reached out wanting me to make that kind of video. And I never did them because I was like, I get shit for just talking about things. So I'm not going to like do a promotional video, but it was eBay. It was a project that like completely tanked and, went to like nothing. They wanted me to make commercials and I was like, they wanted to pay me. Right. And I was like, listen, I can't accept money, but I do need access to your professional network. So I will make 3 commercials for access to your professional network. And I disclosed it.
So it finally comes out. You're a charlatan. No, I'm sure.
No. I disclosed it at the time. But yeah, I do think that like, I guess, so promoting cryptos in general for pay is a problem, but it's a much bigger problem when it's done without disclosing that they're paid promotions. And it's a thing that like most influencers do.
Right. I think there should be there should be certain laws for that, but then I also think that there should be protections from YouTubers who aren't receiving any funds. There should be protections. Like if let's just say where I'm talking about the crypto that I like and these are the coins I like and stuff like that. There should be protections on that. That should be fine and stuff. It's just, but like, yeah, the paid promotion side is where it gets a little murky. Basically.
And I think that was like the main inquiry with, all the Hexican influencers who got subpoenaed was like, it wasn't a question of if it was wrong for them to talk about it. It was a question of whether or not they were paid to talk about it. And that's why they wanted wallets and, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, trust, nobody got paid, bro.
Yeah,
we were fucking brokies when we started. There's a lot of streamers when we started off, like some of us couldn't even afford it, like proper like setups at all or anything, or even like there was no money given like at all. It was all out of like everyone just wanting to like talk about the coin. That's it, Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I can't speak for everyone, right? But like I definitely was never paid to talk about Hex. I was paid to make a meme, but it was because I won that money in a contest.
Right. Hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. But can you talk a little bit about like your building bridges and stuff like that? Like what is that exactly, right? Because I know you've been talking about that. Was one of the first things I think you even said. Like I think even back in Discord Syndicate that you're trying to connect communities and everything like that. And I think you have a show called Building Bridges, right?
I haven't been doing that. It's been like over a year since I was doing that stream. But so
that's why the market's been. You see, look. She stops working and the market starts crashing. Look at that. No, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, like the real egoic part of me really wants to take credit for that, but I'm gonna just say that it was probably just the market. It had nothing to do with me. So, yeah, I did a stream. It was like early in Hex, things were really polarizing with like Hex and then the rest of crypto, where everyone was calling Hex a scam, and nobody like in mainstream crypto, I guess, really wanted to associate with anyone who was like spoke positively about Hex.
Right.
But I had like not a huge following, but like I was a journalist. I work in the industry. I had like some connections to people who had platforms, like big platforms. Ben Armstrong is one of those people where like he wouldn't have invited someone else onto around the blockchain from the Hex community. Like now it's more common, like you see Corey on there. But like
BitBoy's a good dude. I gotta take 1 second. BitBoy's actually a really cool dude. Like we were at some of these parties with the influencers in Bitcoin Miami, and you could tell why this guy is famous in the crypto space, because literally I was like, you could just talk to him like a normal. He was like he would just talk to everybody, right? And you had some guys that there were like 5,000 fucking followers or 6,000 followers, and they were like walking around like they were like had a stick up their fucking ass, and they were like too good to talk to anybody. And then you had BitBoy here with a few million, and just being like, hey, what's up, buddy? What's going on? And same thing with like Crypto Crow and a bunch of the other guys. Like there's a reason these guys have been successful, right? It's because they're personable, and then it makes total sense to me why they're at what they're at. I didn't see her at the event though, but another crypto woman that's really good is like Wendy O. Wendy O is a great person as well, like informative and everything like that. Like she's like, I got respect for her. She's pretty cool. Or I guess she's calling herself auntie now.
Is she? I don't know.
That's what she's calling herself. Yeah.
So like I had known these people really even before they were super famous, because there's like a Telegram group that's crypto influencers. It's, an invitation only group. And because I used to do a stream before Building Bridges with Seth, Mind Your Biz, and we would have people on, and I would go to events, and then I'm a journalist, so I like write articles and people. So I had connections with a bunch of different people from outside of the Hex community, and they would talk to me where they wouldn't necessarily associate with other people. So the idea behind the Building Bridges stream, like RG and Kinetics had asked me to come and do a stream, and they were like, it can be about whatever you want. And I was like, here's my stipulation, is that I'm not going to do just another stream that's all about Hex, because there's nothing to like do, or like there's nothing unique or value additive for me to do there. I'll run out of content and ideas. So my idea was that the show was called Building Bridges, and every week I would host someone from outside of the Hex community, and we would talk about various crypto topics, news topics, let them give have their opportunity to say what they liked about their coin. I got the opportunity to say what I liked about Hex and about the Hex community, and kind of like sociologically explain what was going on. And like kind of the idea was to break down barriers. I think that I was ahead of my time, because I got like so much hate for doing the show. The idea was that it would like allow people to see that you don't have to be a maximalist in Hex. You don't have to be like a crazy Richard Hart simp to like Hex, because I think it's like a lot of that, like I like Richard. He's never been anything but cool to me, honestly. Like I like him, right? But like that doesn't mean that I like fan all over him like some of the people, like whatever. But like the idea was to show people that you could be moderate. You didn't have to like give up your other crypto, whatever your other cryptos were, to like Hex. You could like multiple coins, and people got mad because they were like, oh, you're shilling these coins to Hexicans. I'm like, I'm not. Like, they're getting an opportunity to talk, and I'm getting an opportunity to talk. And maybe there are people out there who aren't into Hex who got into it, and it definitely is the case. That's true. But anyway, I just got like so much like so much hate and stuff over it that I decided to take a break from streaming when I went to Dubai. Like I don't know, it was over a year ago.
Right.
And then I didn't start streaming again, and like my quality of life continued to improve, and I was happier because I wasn't constantly fighting with people over just like just like being a rational person.
Right.
And so I never started again.
I mean, let's just be honest. Half the people on Twitter are retarded.
Yeah.
They really are. And like, and I want to get your take on this right now because obviously, so we've talked about the girls in crypto, and I've talked a little bit about lanes, right? Like you have to choose your lane, but but in the greater, like outside of just gender, right? If you look at a coin, right, like there is a certain amount of spots as a media influencer, right, where you can be like the guy that's like the news guy, you can be like the I don't know, the drama guy. You can be like, there's a lot of these weird kind of lanes and mixture hybrid lanes, right, for everybody, or like the tutorial guy. There's a lot of these different like lanes and communities where people are taking, especially if it's a popular coin, right? Mm-hmm. What I've noticed so far is that because the market's been so bad in 22 and the views have gone down, that you've had a lot of infighting going on. Mm-hmm. both in public and private and stuff that's been going on and stuff like that. So there's Pulse Chain's not been created, and now there's some new influencers here. There's some old ones, and everyone's kind of fighting with each other. Some people have just straight up retired. Basically, they're just in the background now. And I mean, what is your thoughts on all that and stuff? Because it's gotten like it's pretty, and I've seen most of this mostly going down on Twitter, where people are really doing some like it's borderline like hex on hex violence.
Yeah, it totally is. And for one, like, I hate to say I told you so, but like, I totally said that this was going to happen when the announcement about Pulse, like that Pulse was, because I was like, now people are going to have more than one coin. There's going to be more than one token. It's going to be needed for people to talk about other things that are being built on or converting over to Pulse Chain. And it's going to cause this like, this fighting, this drama. And then people got mad at me for saying that. And I was like,
right.
You're like, I'm just stating to you that this is a pattern of human behavior and this is going to happen. And it's not based on me like trying to start shit. It's just, this is how people behave. Like, this is just, it's true historically. And then obviously like it did happen. I mean, what do you want me to say about like, stop the infighting, right? Like, I mean, you can't tell people what to do. They're not going to listen.
Right.
So I think the best thing that people can do is just not engage with it. So part of the problem, I think, is that like people love drama, and that's true outside of cryptocurrency too. It's why, certain shows are popular, like soap operas run for decades. People love drama. So when there's drama on Twitter or feuds or, whatever beefs, people like flock to it and they pick a side and they like it and they comment on it and they give it engagement. And I think that the best way to like roll that back, if you're listening right now and you want to try to do something about it, just stop engaging with it. If there's drama, don't, because people are going to post what is going to get likes and what's going to get retweets and comments and views. That's what they're going to do. So if there's no engagement on these like ridiculous beefs, they stop. At least they stop publicly.
Well, don't say that because you're hurting people's like analytics, bro. Like this is that's what you're. I mean, like that's what they do on something. This is something that I've said for like a long time. Like the Thanos gauntlet, right? We are going from a one token religion to a multiple. We're going to a pantheon of gods, right? And like this is like the schism that I don't know why you got so much shit for saying that. That's crazy. Would you said it on Twitter, huh?
Yeah, Twitter and YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, because I've said this on YouTube for a long time. That's why I like using props and stuff, because people understand better with like when you have props and stuff. So it's like,
well, I mean,
yeah, the tiara and stuff. Why do you have a tiara on?
Okay. Do you want to know the story? It's great, actually. Okay, sure. So I was doing building bridges at the time, and it was early, and I had asked Ben Armstrong to come on to the stream. And before I was getting ready, I was writing questions, and then I remembered something that Richard said, which is like most of the YouTubers, most of the like people crypto people who produce content don't put enough effort into the aesthetic. So like they've got, clutter on the shelves behind them. They don't take time to like look good. And that was one thing that he did different, right? Like he had, he's got the throne and the watch spinners at the time and the crystal whatever things, all the Richard aesthetics. Then I was like, oh, okay, I should do that, right? Like I should do the female version of that. And I only had like an hour, but I like put together this background. It was different than this, but I had like a hexagonal shelves hanging on the wall behind me. Some like things that looked pretty on camera. And then I was like, okay, now what about myself? And I was like, okay, I'll find the sparkliest jewelry that I can find. And I found it was this tiara. It was one that I bought for my daughter at Disneyland. And so I grabbed like this tiara, a really sparkly, necklace and bracelets. And then after that stream, the stream got tons of views. It was more views than I had ever gotten before. And that was largely, obviously, because I had Ben and he was, a big popular influencer who people followed. But afterwards, I got like tons of DMs from people who said, my wife, she normally doesn't like any of the crypto content that I had on YouTube, but she walked by and she saw your tiara and she was like, oh, who's this pretty girl in this tiara? And she like sat down and watched the whole thing. Or like my daughter was always like asking who that princess girl is. So then I just, every time I stream, I now wear a tiara, and then I've gotten like more tiaras so that there was a variety because I was streaming a couple of times a week for a while.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, if it works, I mean, you need it works. It really does. Like I really do think that adding some. I mean, that's why I always have like all kinds of stuff in the background and things like this. Like people want to see that stuff and they relate to something. That's why I got Pokemon. I got these giant Pokemon cards around here and stuff like this because people collect. I mean, I got Brawly on the computer and stuff, so it all makes sense and stuff. So
well, you commented, I think before we were live, about my chair, right? That like the chair works. It works with the whole.
I mean, this is why you have the candelabra with like red or green candles with Richard. And he has a fucking throne. He has like crystals in the background. Yeah, everyone uses stuff to accessorize, but also to people to relate to it or like aspire. It all depends on what you're trying to convey, basically.
Yeah, and all I was doing was trying to get more people to watch.
Right. So can you share my screen for 1 second? Now,
yeah.
So I was talking about this dumb chick, right, earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And Jenna, right? So she ends up posting that. So I just saw this right now because I was scrolling through Twitter. So you can book a 1-hour consultation with me for $690, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was saying, so I didn't care about that. I was like, whatever, right? But then she says, Hex sucks, Pulse Chain sucks. This is pretty rich coming from a chick who got all her fucking hype basically coming into the Hex and Pulse Chain ecosystem. And this is what I'm talking about, these grifter chicks. Like, yeah. And there it is, y'all. Y'all simp for this chick. Big oof to you guys. And this is what I'm talking about. Like I think this is also the other thing too, is that there's a lot of blue pill men, men in the crypto space, and I'm trying to get a lot of guys red pilled, and just knowing that there's a lot of women now. Both guys and women take advantage of each other, but there is quite a lot of people in the tech space that get taken advantage by a lot of women. Like just to bring that example, when I went over to the Litecoin conferences and stuff, especially the one in Vegas, I saw a ton of Asian men. Small, like, I mean, I'm just being for real. Like, what I saw, I would go to these events, you would see some really wealthy Asian guys, and like, they're basically the woman was wearing the pants in the relationship. It was like one of the crazy. It was like I wish I took a picture of it. It was like, imagine this small little Asian dude holding like 15 designer bag, like, like they just went shopping at the thing, and then there's her little Chinese chick going like this, and like, come on, hurry up, like that, just. It's just insanity, So there's a lot of guys getting taken advantage of and like one thing I'm really scared about, but it is what it is like a lot of guys in the crypto space are going to make a lot of money and they're going to get it all stolen by their wife or spent. And there's just a lot of guys that are going to get taken advantage of. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. When this industry gets bigger and the money comes in, here comes the fucking gaggle of fucking whores, right?
So here's the thing: do you have to like if you're someone who is like, I mean, isn't that on the person who gets taken advantage of, kind of? Like, if you're the kind of guy who's going to be like, yeah, sure, I'll buy you whatever designer shit you want, and
But
that's
almost
kind of on him.
now that's also the other thing. Now, if we decide to take ultimate responsibility like that, right? Then you go into that other side of like, well, it's every fucking victim's fault. They got abused as well, right?
Yeah.
Right. We can't. And this other thing is society overall doesn't give a fuck about men. We care so much about women's issues. We give so little fuck about like divorce rape, because it's rape. Literally, divorce is rape to men, right? And I mean, what you were apologizing right there for men, right there. Like, I mean, not apologizing, but you were basically saying that like, yeah, like, but isn't it the man's fault? And then you can go the opposite side. Isn't it a women's fault for getting attacked? Right? It's the same sort of shit. Like, you should have known better. Why are you dressing provocative? I mean, it was your own fault. You got attacked, right? Like, you can't do that, you know? And this is the same thing. Like, if I had a daughter, I'd tell her, what the fuck are you going outside looking like a fucking whore? Right? Why are you dressed like that? Why? You better, if you're going to go out, you better be next to your fucking friend or your brother. The fuck are you doing? Get your ass back home, right? And it's just that lack of, like, just thinking, right, and stuff. And of course, you know, you can't blame kids too much. Like, they're young, they're stupid, right? They don't know, they don't have experience, right? But that's the whole thing, is that you have the experience, right? We have the experience. So why are let's save people from themselves, right? Let's tell, I mean, like, why do you think a bunch of, like, as an example, right? Like, older, I'm a millennial, I'm kind of in the middle there, middle to younger millennial, right? There's a lot of the older millennials and the young extra guys that have all gone divorce raped. Why do you think, like, so 50% of marriages end in divorce? That's real. But this is something people don't talk about. Almost no one's getting married anymore. The number of marriages are going down. So statistically, if you actually look at it, right, marriages are like at the fucking bottom. The chart is like 98% down. Where, like, the chart is like straight hockey stick down to the floor. And even those dudes who decided, like, okay, I'm gonna be a retard and marry, are getting 50% divorce raped. What the fuck are we what is going nerd? Oh my god. I know, like, what's your thoughts about that?
So I mean, prenups exist,
but they don't completely work. Like, they do protect you against some of your assets, but not everything, right? Like, as an example, how would you feel if you decided to get remarried, right? You find a strapping young gentleman, single father, doing real well, you're really happy, and then he's kind of and he ends up divorcing you because you're an investor in the crypto space and you got all the money and you have to pay him alimony. How would you feel about that?
So, like, there's zero chance that I would get married without a prenup.
But even with a prenup, right? Well, he's like the prenup would protect your assets before the marriage, but afterwards you guys have built something together, right? And obviously, like, so the dumbest thing you could do is getting married at the peak of a bull, or at the bottom of a bull market, because your assets are just going to appreciate so much and you're going to buy more of them and stuff. And then on top of that, I mean, you're a hardworking woman and stuff, right? So I mean, your income, it doesn't matter what the guy you're going to meet, like, you're like, during a bull market, you're going to cuck him out financially so fucking bad that, like, there's no hope for this man. And this is also another reason why, like, if we're just talking about straight investments, now I really agree for crypto for, like, women, especially if they're single moms or something like that, or like, or they decide not to have a family. There's, whatever the case issue, or they have to be the breadwinner. There's some women that, like, they're the only working female in the family and stuff, and they have to take care of their parent. There's some really sad instances. There really is, like, that's why, like, I have no problem teaching anybody about crypto. But the more money you make, the harder it is for you to find a man.
Yeah.
Right? Unless your looks are also on that level. If you're a 10 making 10 money, you're still gonna find a dude, right? But, like, the richer you get, the harder it is for you to settle down with a guy. You still can get laid, of course. Like, of course, women, like, I mean, and there's the other side of the argument too, where, like, I mean, if a guy decides to lower his standards low enough, I mean, as a guy, like, if you really wanted to get laid, you can get laid as a guy, but you're fucking, like, snaggletooths out here. It's bad out here in the streets. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, like, I feel like this is the thing that, like, I know that a lot of people, especially in the red pill community, are really like, there's no upside to marriage for a man, right?
Right.
But, like, I don't know. Like, I understand the logic behind that, but I think that the counter argument is that the upside is in the security that provides for your partner. Like, because you're your wife wants to feel secure and protected, and
but that's when they get that fucking attitude. On top of that, that's when the woman in your life gets a fucking attitude, because they feel like, oh, I don't have to compete anymore. Now I can be fucking lazy. And then this is where problems start. And then this is where you start getting these fucking, like, I would damn near call this like, I would call this like almost CTE for men and stuff, because the women are just berating them day and night and stuff, because fuck, I have to be on eggshells around my wife because this fucking chick's gonna fucking leave my ass. Like, I mean, you said it yourself. There's no reason to get married. Like, I think marriage is beautiful. I'm Catholic. I'm full on Catholic. Everything, fucking baptism, first communion, confirmation, everything. The only thing left to me is the anointment of death. That's it. I'm full Catholic, right? But I think I really, and
the sex before marriage part, right?
Yeah. Well, that what depends on that's not really even that pushed that hard, really, even in Catholicism. But it's mostly the sex of what Christianity and stuff, and then that's a whole fucking rabbit hole right there, right? But I mean, and then tell that to all the fuck. I mean, anyway, and then if you go back far enough, right? I mean, shit, like Catholicism, depending on where they've conquered and gone into, they've warped their religion into it and stuff like that. Yeah. So, like, I mean, I used to have a before I had a Rolex. I used to have a rosary around my wrist and stuff that I had around my wrist for about 15, 16 years. Right. And it had beads on it. The only reason they had beads on it is because Catholicism went into certain areas where there was Buddhists and stuff, and they had decided, well, how can we integrate these guys a little easier into the religion? Let's add beads around the rosaries and stuff, so they can, like, oh, this is not completely different. Okay, let me like, this is what I'm talking about, is the religion.
Well, I mean, it's why Christmas is celebrated in December. It's why there are eggs.
They're pagan fucking holidays.
Yeah.
Before Christa, who was Mithra? Before Jesus Christ, who was Mithra? Who was Christa? Who was the first to be baptized, crucified, and resurrected? Brought up to be a martyr, it's this whole thing of like literally like Jesus Christ is like, there's two different versions of him beforehand in ancient religions, all the way to Babylon. Like, I know we're getting a little conspiratorial here, but but all things aside, right? But I do think traditionally it's beautiful, right? Because the best opportunity, the best place in the world for a child to grow up in is a 2-parent household, a mom and a dad and a child.
Definitely.
Boom, beautiful, right?
Definitely. The nuclear family is like,
the backbone of fucking society. And like, let me tell you this, right? So, and I say, like, and I've had quite a lot of YouTubers, like, because I've said this in the red pill space, people have heard it and stuff. I said the biggest Ponzi, the everything's a Ponzi, right? I think we kind of learned this from Richard a little bit, but we've expanded it out to be like, everything's a Ponzi, right? Well, the biggest Ponzi is the population Ponzi, right? Is that our economies are basically based off of GDP and everything like that. So we need to, the more humans we have in our country, the more, if we have more babies than we have dead people, then we have old people, our economy is booming. We're strong. Like, if you look at Social Security or anything like that, the stock market, it's all a Ponzi based off of, there's going to be all these dumb 18-year-olds to 40-year-olds that are going to buy up all the stocks so I can retire off their work, right? So, there is, like, right now, like, America is like at maintenance to below maintenance, and we are we are at the tip of the pyramid when it comes to developed nations in terms of demography. Right now. So right now, we're like 300 million plus people in the United States, right? Where the average, I think the birth rate right now is maybe like 1.8. So the average couple is having 1.8 kids, which is below maintenance, and we're going down. But we're at the peak of the pyramid. China is in full collapse. Like, China's population is going to collapse by 50% in the next 20, 30 years.
Yeah, it's like Sweden and Denmark for probably 10 years have been paying people to have kids. They've been like, they've even started like a website to match up single people so that, like, not for marriage purposes, but just for population purposes.
Yeah. I mean, and it's the best thing you could do. Like, I could fix the economy right now. If the average couple had 3 kids, one to replace you, one to replace your husband, and one for the economy, we would be metro booming right now. The economy would be, we would be at somewhere between a 5 to 8% GDP growth. the reason that there was like the baby boomers, right? Why the economy expanded so much after World War II is everyone came back, had a bunch of fucking kids, and the economy exploded. We were the fucking powerhouse of the world. Afterwards, we still are and stuff, but militarily, of course. But it's because we had all these kids, right? Like, I mean, if my generation, the millennial generation, is just slightly. I think we're 5% bigger than the boomer generation. Just barely. And like one thing that's not being talked about right now is that basically 40% of millennial women are not going to have kids. They're going to be single cat ladies. That's real. Mostly on the older side of the millennial women. Mostly on not some of the younger girls, because like I'm 32 right now. I think the youngest millennial woman right now would be 26 or 27 right now. Right? So the 40 fucking % of the millennial women are not going to have kids. So what's going to happen with guys like me and other people? Like, I feel really bad for the next generations, but basically the higher percentile of the millennial men are going to fucking basically take all the fucking women from the Zoomers. And
but I mean, is that changing with Zoomers? Are they more likely to have kids than millennials?
It's looking like they're probably they're much more conservative. Yes. Zoomers are more conservative because same thing. Like I have a brother, my Kylo Tren. He's like 21. He just started helping me with my show and stuff. I sent his ass back to California for the weekend. but he's 21 and stuff like that. And they're much more conservative and stuff. But it like basically the younger generation saw like him, right? He's a Zoomer. He saw like I didn't fuck up my life in with the bad divorce and all this other crap, but there's kids just like Kyle and stuff that saw their older brothers get divorced, raped, and saw all this stuff happen to them, and they're like, I ain't gonna let that shit happen to me. And so this is why like we're starting to see less and less marriages. We're starting to see all this stuff, but you still need to have kids, right? This is the thing. Like what's gonna keep America strong is basically everyone remembering that we need to have children. Right? Because imagine this shit. Like you and me, everybody in the chat right now, all 200 people watching right now, right? You guys are the descendants of thousands and thousands of people who successfully mated, right? So your grandma was successful in getting impregnated and having a child to have the next generation. Your grandfather was a Chad out here, 10,000 Chads that ended up having children, and you decided to be the retard that says, I'm ending it right here. I've decided, haram, no more.
Yeah, no, I've said that before to people who were like really against having kids. It was like, that's really horrible for your parents. Like you're just saying like, yeah, life sucks. I don't want to continue. Like, wow, that's like, what a slap in the face to your parents.
Yeah, Hugh Hefner in the chat. I got 13 baby mamas doing wonders for the economy. Yeah, of course, right? But shout out to Nick Cannon. But it is, I mean, it is the, shout out to anyone who has it. I did my part. Yes. 43 OG, baby, man. He's got 3 kids. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. But it is this whole thing that we've forgotten that like there's this whole global agenda to depopulize the world. What a crock of shit. Global. Yeah. I mean, like, oh my God, the world's heating up. Lies. Oh my God, like everything that now deforestation, that's real, of course. Like, yeah, we are like, there's certain things that are real, but like there's a lot of lies. Like the reason they want to depopulate the planet is because it's easier to control a smaller amount of people. The technology has gotten better. Yeah. Why? Like if you take all humans, every fucking human on this planet, you could fit them in the state of Texas. All of them.
I mean, that doesn't sound fun. I wouldn't want to live there.
No, it doesn't. But as an example, right? Like, just to tell you how much of the world we populate, we could take every fucking human on this planet, and I'll round it up. We're 8 billion people, which is not correct. But 8 billion people on this planet, put them all in Texas, they fit. There's plenty of land. Yeah. Right? Now, there's people exploiting resources and stuff and not sharing. Like, I think it's, like, really wrong for Nestle to be fucking like monopolizing all the fucking natural water springs and everything across America. Yeah. Especially out in Oregon and Maine. Those are snakes, by the way. Fuck Nestle. but we like the thing is like the more people we have, the more chances we have. Like it's like a lottery scratch. The more chances we have geniuses to be born. We have a female genius, male geniuses, and these people can change the world. And like, well, imagine if we had if Elon Musk's mom decided, no, that's enough.
Yeah, no, here.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
I mean, I think you should start practicing what you preach and go impregnate some chicks or something.
How do you know I haven't?
I mean, you said you haven't. I was just going to believe you, but have you?
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, sure. The practice what you preach stuff and stuff. But yeah, I'm working on it. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
Yeah. There's no problem here. There's no problem here. But let's see. What was the? Yeah. Wait. The whole world population 1 meter apart from each other. Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so you could fit everybody on the planet and stuff like that in Texas. That's pretty insane statistic. But obviously, people want to live in the nice areas. Obviously, there's I mean, you don't want to live in the fucking too cold and stuff. So there is like, I get it and stuff. But I mean, what's going on right now is like, I mean, even though the economy is crashing and stuff, like Vegas and Miami are exploding in population right now because these are like some of the best cities to live in right now. Who know living in the middle of the fucking desert?
Yeah. Can't say that I would want to live in either of those places. It's too hot. I lived in Phoenix for like 20 years. Yeah. No.
Phoenix is pretty hot. We've actually had a really cold year here in Vegas. Like, yeah, last year was kind of hot. This year has been pretty cold. I mean, like it rained this morning. It's kind of crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like the rain.
Now, yeah, exactly. Miguel's got to keep the secret family secret for the presidency, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
One day I'll be Lord Presidente. That's for sure. But no, I mean there's just like all these. I mean that's what's going around the planet. Like the reason all the countries around the planet why we're having this financial problem right now is because most developed countries are going through population collapse right now.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. I mean everywhere. The only country, like literally America is like literally one of the only countries not completely imploding because the boomers in our country decided to have kids. Most boomers in other countries decided to have like one kid. That's why Italy's in bad shape. That's why, I mean, every country, France is doing okay, but they're the Illuminati of like the euro and stuff. But Russia is basically in collapse. Like after this war, I mean, they're pretty much donezo, basically. Like every country you can think of, that's basically what's going on right now is like developed country. Now I'm not talking about like Africa or some small Asian countries and stuff, but like every major country in the world and stuff is going through some pretty hardships and they're going to go through a lot of hardships and stuff. I mean, look at what Japan's probably one of the only countries that's done it right, basically, but they have had to lean into a ton of automation and stuff. So you either lean into automation or you lean into immigration and stuff. And most countries are really bad at immigration, right? America's the best in the world at it, and people still chastise America for it and stuff. And it's not perfect as well, So yeah. But that's what ends up happening is because, I mean, the reason immigration is so good sometimes is because everybody, like, just like I was talking about earlier, how women want to be in the AC and stuff, all that stuff, right? Like, usually when the second or third generation of, like, you've been here in the country, you also want to be in those nice positions, right? So this is why immigration is so good is because they're willing to take the jobs, like this whole thing, like, oh, the immigrants are taking all the jobs away. What, ditch digger?
Yeah.
Like working on like I've done those jobs. I literally ran a landscape business for years. Like those are tough jobs and stuff. Like I was gonna do a post on Twitter today to show like that there's this artist that did this whole they took pictures of all these guys working construction and landscaping to show them how their trucks are, right? So they took aerial shots of their trucks, of all the tools they took, and had them laying down in the beds and stuff. And it's like I literally could have been in one of those trucks. Like I've been in those trucks. It's that crazy, And these are the real backbone of America. Like they're doing all the jobs. Like, dude, the best Chinese food made in America is made by Mexicans. This is facts. Like literally, if you go to a Chinese restaurant, you'll have a fucking Asian front and fucking Mexican back or Latino back. It's all Cubans, Mexicans. Like, I mean, all the restaurant industry would collapse. Like, you try. Like,
have you ever seen that movie, A Day Without a Mexican?
I have. It's so stupid, but it's funny. It's funny, but it's really dumb. But it's true. I mean, if these people didn't work, the country would fucking stop completely. And this is the reason that their problem is that they're having is that like you have Now these other countries are trying to keep their population the same of how it, like the ethnicity of the country the same, right? Now, when America's always been kind of a melting pot, even though we've still segmented ourselves into different places. Like this is where a lot of white people live. Like, you know, it is what it is, but the country overall is pretty good as a melting pot, and this is why we've been so successful, and why we're probably going to keep staying on top is because we can keep bringing people into the country, and they take these lower positions down, cool, and then people, obviously the people at the top are extracting wealth from these people. It's fucked, but like that's how the cycle goes. Is like you come in, you get exploited effectively for 1 or 2 cycles, crypto wise, one or two cycles, and then like you ascend, and then we have to bring the next crop of people that we like exploit for 1 or 2 cycles, and then we ascend, and then some just stay down there, and then of course the government, and this is where the fucked up part is, the government then tries to keep some of these people down there for a long time and stuff like that. Like, I mean, obviously, it's kind of like, I mean, let's be for real. They've set entire things to keep the black population down there. Yeah. Through policies and stuff like that. Like, you know, white people doing fucking snorting coke, getting like fucking no jail time, and then they just cook it up. They cook it up and make it into free base and shit, and they're getting 20 fucking years. What the fuck, Reagan? Yep. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's cool. We're deep in a rabbit hole now.
Deep in a rabbit hole. I mean, this is real talk and shit. It's really.
I mean, I want to ask you what shape the Earth is, but
it's whatever shape I want it in. That's it.
Okay.
Probably round, but it's probably oval. Probably oval and stuff like. Probably oval and stuff like that. But it's or a flat, or like people saying it's flat and there's a dome, or the moon's fake and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of shit. I'm not going to get into the whole like flat Earth crap or whatever and stuff like that, or the ice walls and stuff like. Who knows? Yeah, it's whatever. You know, the world's full. I mean, it's all lies. There's so many lies. There's so many lies.
You know what? One thing that I've always said is like, it doesn't matter if it's flat or round. It's digital. We're in the matrix. You know, like shape is irrelevant.
Well, let me tell you this. Why do you think BlackRock? I mean, outside of it being a decent investment to buy single-family homes and multifamily, why do you think BlackRock's buying so many houses?
Well, isn't it so they can end home ownership so that everyone has to rent?
That's a portion of it. But like, let's just say they weren't evil, right? They just are like, we're trying to invest into let's just say BlackRock isn't evil. Lol. But let's just say BlackRock isn't evil and they're just trying to catch trends to make money, right? Why would they be buying single family homes and multifamily homes, apartment buildings and single family homes, right? Ready Player One. Because long term, even though we think we think that the metaverse and all this shit is a joke, Apple's coming out with a visor. Every time Apple comes out with a product, they don't quit on it right away, right? We had the iWatch, right? The iWatch was a complete fucking failure when it came out. They kept improving it, and now everyone has one except for me. But but like, you know, just think about it. The iPad was like, I mean, you know, he brought it out. Oh, the iPad, cool. It did okay, and then now it's become like a big staple, and like businesses really are using this as their main pinpoint and stuff for their small businesses, right? But every product Apple comes out with is because it's going to be around for a long time. Why would they come out with a fucking virtual visor and stuff, right? Because it's going to be a big thing. So what's going to happen is as basically the economy, as crypto evolves, as technology expands, as AI starts getting crazier and crazier, automation is going to start happening. We're going to go into more digital jobs. I mean, effectively, what me and you are doing right now, we're digital. I mean, we're you know, they call it digital nomads, right, or whatever. But like, we work online, right? And this is going to be like, we're just like some of the first people doing it. The rest of the population is going to start jumping onto it, right? Like, I implore everyone to go watch Ready Player One. Ignore the sappy love story bullshit. Like, oh my God, she's a cute girl, but like, there's something wrong with her. That's why she's so special, right? Oh my God, that's why she's playing video games, because something's wrong with her. Like, get the fuck out of here, right? Like, yeah. But anyway, but besides the sappy love story, right? If you actually look at what's going on, right? I won this big contest, so I won a bunch of money, and then now I ordered stuff, and now shit shows up to my front house. That's what's happening. Like, COVID was just a test of this, right? We all were at home. Crypto flourished during this time because, you know, everyone was home, right? But everyone was at home. We had all our shit delivered. Uber Eats went crazy. Amazon fucking went crazy. All your stuff came home. You didn't see people around. You couldn't go to the gym. People started buying homes. Everything's going to be in your house. BlackRock knows this shit, right? So if long term, that's where we're heading, right? We're heading towards the metaverse. We're probably heading to some version, not as dark as like Ready Player One, a little lighter, but somewhere in the middle there, where like most people are probably at home working, then they have their whole everything delivered to their house.
Yeah.
That's where we're heading towards, right? So if we know that, right, that this is why the commercial real estate market is fucking imploding, because we're like outside of a couple of us are just buying buildings to like put like studios in and stuff like that. Outside of that, like the amount of like businesses that are going to have storefronts are just going to go down, keep going down over time, except for like special events, maybe like a club or like a gym, just because people want to go to like a specialized gym or something like that. But outside of these like niche things, like it's starting to go away.
Yeah. No, it is. There are entire shopping malls that are empty.
And this is why I tell people like if we lose this battle, right, what's going to happen with crypto, right, is that we're gonna have a golden cage. Me and you are going to have golden cages. Maybe you have a pink cage made of gold, but we're going to have these golden cages where like we've made plenty of money off of crypto. We're going to be the ones living nice, and then everyone's going to be the slaves and the serfs afterwards. Because there's like, that's what's going to happen. Like, worst case scenario is we still win, we make some money, right? If we win, everyone's still free, everyone has digital money, and we keep some of the freedoms. We lose, we're in the golden cage, but we have money. That's the two options. This is why I find it so stupid. People like the real estate guys are going to stay winning, crypto guys are going to stay winning, and a lot of other people are going to get smashed. I mean, and then you know what? And then if BlackRock actually thinks this, go look at all companies around the world in the S&P 500. Look who's at the top of ownership of all these companies. BlackRock or Vanguard. Well, Vanguard, yeah, but BlackRock, Vanguard, and a couple other companies. But basically, they hold top position in almost every major stock that matters in the world. And if the people running that company feel like that's where the world's going to go, they're going to push all these companies towards that goal. And then everyone just follows like fucking lemmings, like little sheep. Bah.
Yeah, but I mean, BlackRock, what is trying to push that like really woke narrative? I mean, they're the ones who gave the, ultimatum to companies with their, DEI scores and basically said you have to embrace this, this trans pride ideology.
Right.
And then, I mean, but look, people are pushing back.
No, they are pushing back. That's what I'm trying to say. They never get what they want. It's a push and pull, right? It's somewhere in the middle. Like I've always said, America, the way we're heading is we're China light, right? We're not going to go full China. We're not going to go full draconian like that, but we're going to be China light.
Yeah,
right? We're going to be China light. If China, like, let's just say the biggest, if the number 2 economy was like a really free economy, we'd be full eagle right now. America, we'd be pushing like we are. It's sort of like the yin yang. There's always a power vacuum. The second and biggest, the 1 and 2 economies of the planet are always like fighting with each other. China, if America was super communist, I mean, I'm not talking about real communist, right? And we didn't believe in like what's capitalism, China would be ultra capital. I mean, ultra what's called communist. Instead of having, they're like a fake, they're like communist-ish with capitalism, effectively, right? That's how we've influenced them, and then they're influencing us on the back. And now, is it good? No, but it is what it is right now until they collapse at some point, probably in the next 10, 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a scary time to be alive. I guess that probably contributes to why like so many people are choosing to not have kids.
Right. That's also a cop out too. Oh my God, the world's so horrible and stuff like that. Listen, I have kids. Yeah, it's a cop. I mean, it's a cop. But these people are breeding themselves out of the gene pool. So
yeah.
Hey, But then here's one of the best things. I had this shout out to Saint the Sinner. I asked him this. He's like, well, if they're going to breed themselves out of the gene pool, but then no, but these retards keep teaching the next generation the same poison. Fuck.
Yep.
That was such a good rebuttal. Shout out to Saint the Sinner. But it's true. It's like that's why you have to protect your children from this stuff. And like I think that's really like if there's ever a line, that's the line where people really will fight. It's like don't be fucking telling me how to raise my kids. That really is the line there and stuff like that. Like it really is like, yeah, it's really the line there. And shout out to everyone who didn't get the COVID vaccine. That now it's been reported that anyone who had the COVID vaccine is more likely to have a heart attack. Yep. That's fucking true. I fucking yelled at my whole fucking family not to get that shit. Half of them listened, half of them didn't. I'm sorry, c'est la vie. But yeah, it's just and I feel really bad because some like not in my family, but there's some people because like most of my family is like entrepreneurs. They all own their own businesses, so they didn't listen to that shit. Yeah. But there's a lot of people who had to go to these jobs and they had to get the COVID shot.
Yep. I know. That
Yeah.
was, yeah, that was an example that I was using earlier, was like, that's why you need to have money, because if you, like, in this situation, if your job tells you you have to get poison put in you or you can't work here, well, then if you don't have money, then you don't really have a choice, because what are you going to do? Be like, I can't feed myself, my family, can't pay our mortgage, can't pay our rent. You know, I mean, like, that's not really a choice.
Yeah. There's someone in the chat, Archie. My whole family got the shot and some are injured and can't talk about it. Wow. I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's sad to hear. Dude, I actually know somebody. So I know quite a few people that got the shot and within 2 weeks lost motor function of everything.
Yep.
They had to go, like, they're now barely starting to walk again. What the fuck is going, like, it, and anyway, it's just terrible, you know. And like, and I know a lot of people here, even in the Hex community, that told me their family members are in, like, or not doing so hot on that as well, you know. I mean, what was who was the actor? Jamie Foxx right now has basically gone blind from they forced him to take a shot. This guy is super muscular, good looking guy, like incredible talented dude, and now he's blind and semi paralyzed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think athletes, like, it hit athletes hardest, right? Like, that's why we see people like just drop dead on the field, and it's because they have faster metabolism. So that's, I think, why we're seeing this more with people who are of supreme, I don't know, physical specimens.
Wow. Jimmy's like, my chest was hurting for 2 months after I got the shot. Oh my God, bro. I'm so sorry to hear that, you guys. Like, fuck, man.
Yeah, it sucks.
I worked, I mean, I, like, man, like, my brothers almost got the shot. I worked so damn hard. I fucking, like, I flew to California to stop them. I flew to California to stop, and, like, thank God. And my brothers, none of them have gotten the shot and stuff. Praise be God. But, oh my God, dude! Like, I'm getting in my feelings right now about this stuff. Like, I really am. Like, it's really tough, because it was one of the things, like, in my private life, I was so fucking, like, crazy about. Like, don't do that, don't get this shot. Like, it's just this, like, I understood sometimes that, like, when I was younger, like, you understood, like, oh, it's just a little flu shot, something normal, right? But this one was very, like, the spidey senses went off, really.
So I was like, I was pretty anti-vax even before this. Like, when my daughter was born, I remember being pregnant and doing all of the reading and being like, you know what? I think we're not going to get vaccinated. And so my daughter is completely unvaccinated. And yeah.
Hit a Pepe for her, man. That's good. Big W, big W.
But I got, like, a lot of shit for that, and I got a lot of shit from my family just over, like, the COVID stuff. Like, my sister, she had 2 babies during COVID. Yeah. I didn't get to meet them until last month because because I'm not vaccinated and I was a threat to them. I remember even, like, talking to my grandma, and she was like, "Well, what about your responsibility for, like, your neighbors?" And I was like, "Listen, my neighbor's health is my neighbor's responsibility. So, like, if my neighbor wants to get the vaccine to be protected, if like he or she gets it, then he's protected. How am I a threat?" You know, like, that was the big thing. Like, you do it for your community. And it was like, but if your community wants to get it, then they can get it and then they're safe. Yeah. But, like, you know, it doesn't make any sense how me not having it is a threat to someone who has it. Does not make any logical sense whatsoever. But yeah, I got a whole guilt trip from everyone too.
So, just as an FYI, just because I want to say here first, like, supposedly the next thing they're going to be pumping out is they're going to be talking a lot about the bird flu next.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, always have some food and stuff and everything at the house, you know, just in case, you know. But that might be in the next one. They might push out and stuff. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's not an easy thing and stuff like that. And the main thing that I was afraid, there's 2 things I've been really afraid of, right? With when COVID happened, one was the central bank digital currencies coming out, that they were going to take our way, they were going to take our ability to save, which is basically taking our economic energy away. We become slaves at that point. The other half is them, for the first time in human history, making it illegal to get some, like all through history, right? someone's gotten you sick, right? Like we've all had the common cold and the fever. Like remember back in the day, like I'm young enough to old enough, I should say, where like I got my cousin gave me chicken pox. Remember people like, what are chicken pox? Right? We used to get this sickness where like once in your life, you know, you end up getting these little itchy little spots all over your fucking body, super annoying and stuff. And now it's been linked to like you're gonna get, I think like what a quarter of us are gonna get shingles later when we're older or some shit. From getting that, but it is what it is, right? But stronger breed, right? But you know, we all used to get chicken pox and stuff, and that's basically almost been damn near eradicated now. But yeah. But it's, you know, this is what I'm talking about is like they almost made it a, like basically they were going to make you financially liable if you got someone sick. So imagine you have the cold and you accidentally got one of your coworkers sick, they could fucking sue you for getting them the cold.
How do they prove that it was you and not someone on the train or whatever? Of
course, right? But that's the thing is like that. As soon as they do that, it becomes like McCarthy era of like the Red Scare. He got me sick, and then now the fucking lawyers are winning tons of money for all these frivolous lawsuits that aren't going to go to court. Everyone's losing money, and the lawyers are getting fucking rich. Right? We have to stop that from happening because that's the most normal human thing in the world. We all get each other sick, and then from there we all create these antibodies, and then we get herd immunity, and we all get better, and then we grow stronger as a species. Right? Anyway, but hey, it is the pox part. Oh my God, don't tell me. Yeah, that's literally what they did to me. And once I asked my mom later, like, oh yeah, like your cousin had it and stuff, so we just took all the kids to her house to get it. I was like, you son of a fucking bitch! What?
No, that's what they did. That's what they would. Yeah, I remember. It was like everyone just get it at once so that we don't have to have this rolling through the year.
Right, and this is why, like, that's the other thing. If they push that along, that's another thing to make people want to stay at home. Is your own family's not going to sue you, right? So you'd stay at home, like, okay, I'll just stay at home because I don't want to get sued by a fucking person. So that's what I'm saying. If they take your ability to save, which is the most scariest thing, what that means is, let's just say you work real hard all weekend. You make, let's just say you're really killing out here. You make $10,000. You work really hard, or you kill it in the market. Official government announcement. You have 48 hours to spend all the money in your bank account, or it goes away because the economy is not doing as good. We need to increase spending.
Yeah.
What do you mean? So there you have to spend all the money you have. You go to zero. You start the whole week off. Pleb again, zero.
Yeah, that would suck.
So then from there, the only way people could ever get anything done is then people have to go clout-based. It would go to a clout-based economy because money wouldn't matter as much anymore. And then from there, they start killing political leaders again. So you'd have some guy. Let's just say me as an example, right? Like let's just say like they took our ability to save money, right? Fuck. Then from there, everyone still has money. So what would happen is we would all, everyone would donate to me, and then I would try to do some stuff for the community, and then they would probably kill me because I'm being a Martin Luther figure. Or whatever it is, a Nipsey Hussle figure of any community and stuff, right? Or they like, you can't send to this wall anymore. It's banned now. So then from there, they can just target everybody to keep them poor.
Yeah. Keep people in the workforce. I don't know. I don't really want to be in the workforce until I'm like 80 at all.
No one does. I mean, you really don't. I mean, like, no. I mean, like, but we don't escape work. Like, that's the one thing I want to say. Like, you just choose what you want to do. Like, I mean, we're for the rest of our lives, we're probably going to be like reacting to stuff, you know, or giving our like, you're going to be a wise woman in the you know, and now into the future, right? Like, you're going to be a person that's going to say, you know, I think this is the way. Like, if as long as you keep doing what you're doing for a long time, what's going to happen is we're going to be like the wise men and wise women, where we're kind of hopefully guiding the tribe in the right direction, right? And that's going to be our spot, basically, you know. But yeah, R.I.P. for all, R.I.P. MLD. Or Martin Luther King Jr. Or I can't even say it anymore. R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. or MLD, right?
MLK.
MLK and Nipsey and stuff like that. But like, which CIA killed, but for both. But you know. But anyway, so this is a crypto show, and let's end with the bang.
Perfect.
What are you buying right now?
Nothing.
What? We'll be right back.
Yeah.
We're buying nothing.
So, okay, there's this saying, right? And it is like, I can't remember who said it, but every time when you're not selling, you're buying. So I really had this like mindset of like, I left everything in the market that I wanted in the market. And then like, I have not been buying throughout the bear. And I know that that's not like a lot of people, the best way to really accumulate tons of wealth is to buy assets when they're undervalued.
Right.
But for me, the thing is that like I've been in crypto for a long time. I've got more money in the market than I should.
There's never enough. No, I gotta stop. Show. There's never enough money in the market. What? Okay. I mean, I'll jokes aside, but like, yeah, no, I understand. You have to have a savings and stuff, and you would try to get other assets and stuff. But I mean, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, I really haven't been like accumulating. I had just so much, and then I get paid in cryptocurrency too. So, like, I am passively always accumulating. But like, I obviously have to sell some of it because I need money to live.
Right.
And because, did you know this? I don't know if you know this, but if you get paid in cryptocurrency, you're liable for the asset, for the value of the asset at the time that it was paid to you, whether you take profits or not. So like, let's say that I was paid and I'm not paid Hex because like nobody is that I know of, right? But let's just theoretically say that I were paid in Hex. I would be liable for paying taxes at, like, let's say I was paid in Hex at 50 cents. I would be liable in taxes for Hex being paid to me at 50 cents, whether it went to a penny or not.
Right. Well, I'm not a legal tax consultant or anything like that, so I don't give any tax advice. So yeah. But yes, when you receive it, you gotta like. That's why most companies have to sell it right away into cash or something, or USDC or whatever.
Yeah. You need to sell it right away. And then put back what, like, you can take a portion of it and buy back whatever you're comfortable potentially with. But yeah, you're going to be liable for the tax at the high point. So yeah, no, I'm not buying anything. I'm still a bit, but like I said, there's the saying.
You do know we're at the bottom of the market, right?
I think so. What do you think? Yeah,
we're like we Bitcoin and Ethereum have bottomed already. That was in November. We still haven't. We were reaching the bottom of the altcoin market right now. Right. So in terms of what's going on right now. In terms of what's going on right now, it's looking like the Fed is going to pause for about 2.5 months with no raises. Yep. So we're not going to get any raises until I would say October, September, basically. So, because I think it's October 31st and September 1st. That's the actual like meeting where they give the deadline. The Fed's going to increase the interest rates 50 more basis points at minimum this year. And pretty much it looks like we're going to have a little hot girl summer for about 3 weeks from now until that date right now.
Yeah.
So I would say, so it's going to be pretty nice. We're going to have some nice price pumps, and then I think the market comes back down, and basically we're full. I mean, we're going to have a nice little pump into the Bitcoin halving, and then come back down, and afterwards we're off to the races because the Fed is going to start lowering interest rates in 2024. They've basically said they're going to lower interest rates 100 basis points for 2024 and 125 basis points for 2025. So there's actually a case to be said that we may actually have a little more extended bull run. So not as many, like Bitcoin and Ethereum won't go as high, but we'll have more of an altcoin run, which is where you make the money anyway, really, if we're being we're really being honest. So there's now it all could go to shit, right? But I mean, it's like beforehand, right? If we were talking about a typical 4-year cycle, we were looking somewhere like, end of 24, top of the bull market to like maybe early 25. But if the Fed is dropping the fucking interest rates the whole damn time, this is kind of a continual kind of like, kind of a rise on the market. It's kind of a put right on the market or whatever, on the market and stuff, right? So, we're talking. I mean, we're talking. It could be late 25 now. With it because late 25, yeah.
So that that would be later than anticipated.
Yeah, it's because this is the first time, like the whole time Bitcoin's ever existed, we've existed in basically in a zero interest rate world with money printing. This is the first if you actually look at the Fed increased rates at the beginning of 2022, they've raised it basically 500 basis points in a year, in a year and a half, basically, right? And they've now said, okay, we're going to increase it another 50 to 75 more points, and then we're going to stop, and then we're going to start lowering rates down in 24 and in 25. So that puts us somewhere at 3.5 to 3.25 for the interest rates. Probably the top of the interest rates are going to be 6% or 5.75. So when interest rates are lower, real estate booms, asset prices go up. It's cheaper to get money. It's a boon for the whole financial sector, because that's where we're in. We're in the asset space. We're in the we're in the capital class. So this is the first time this has actually happened, where we're having lowering rates when crypto is actually being used. So who the fuck knows if we still stick into the 4-year cycle, this may end up giving us a really longer bull market and a very fucked up bear market for the next one. We may have a really bad bear market for the next bear market. I can't tell, I'm just telling you what I see data wise, but I don't know. I can't tell you the exact. My gut feeling is telling me we're going to run a little longer now because of this. Yeah. Because we just have if the rates keep dropping, why the fuck would the market be over? If we're just continuing to drop, we could still have these huge dips. We could have 60% dips in the market, recover back up, but then the Fed keeps dropping the rates and they start money. Are we crazy to think the Fed's not going to print money in 24 or in 25? Are we freaking retarded? Of course they are. Yeah. We have an election. We have the Bitcoin happening. The Bitcoin happening in March or April. Right, April. And then we have the election of probably Trump or Biden or whatever, either one of these fuckers, right? That are going to get elected and stuff. So they're going to pump up the market. If they officially put us in a fucking recession finally, sometime in late 24, early 25, and the market's being shaky, they're going to print a shit ton of money. This pumps up the capital class, the crypto market, and then they're lowering rates on top of it. How is that going to end the bull run? It's kind of a crazy concept to really think about that, because normally they only tell you like 6 months ahead. Yeah, we're thinking about maybe lowering rates a tiny bit. Or they gave us almost a fucking 2-year fucking plan. If you guys don't believe me, go watch my last YouTube video on the Fed. I broke down the entire FOMC meeting call. I've never seen Jerome Powell ever do that ever. I've been watching the Fed since Ben Bernanke back in 2008, 9 and stuff, and watched them all the way to Janet Yellen and stuff, and then Jerome Powell when he took over. And I've never heard these guys ever give that much of a far heads up that oh yeah, we're going to increase rates until this year, and then in 24 and 25 we're going to go down. Holy shit! It's interesting. It's actually who knows? It's the first time this has ever happened. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? The only thing I know for semi certain is that we might hit we're probably gonna hit $100,000 Bitcoin, low 100,000s. That means for Ethereum we're probably hitting much higher prices. We're probably hitting 14 to 25,000. That's the range for Ethereum. But crazy world, man. Hey, take profits.
Yeah, definitely take profits when you've got them.
So
the point is if you're not selling, you're buying. So I'm holding all of my bags. I haven't taken profits for over a year.
Right. Well, that's good. Long-term capital gains and everything like that. So you're in a good position. So, that's beautiful. Did you sack for Pulse Chain and PulseX?
I did. Yeah.
Looking pretty on Pulse Chain, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. It's been a mess, but I don't know. I think that the one thing that I learned from the sacrifice is unless you're anticipating there being a whole bunch of airdrops for having, for the sacrifice set and that evening out the value, is you're probably better off just buying it after it launches. Yeah,
there's always the case for that. So yeah, that's for sure. Now, there is a case for smaller guys because they're so this is true. There's a lot of people really, really bad with money and stuff that they wouldn't be able to even
Sure.
Yeah. So you have people who sacrificed for Pulse Chain and PulseX and then scrounged up money, got a bigger position, and now it's when you have a lot of money, that's the best strategy for like people who have a lot of money. Like you sacrifice a little, and then you can keep buying later on when the market when it drops. But for the average guy, they just don't have a lot. So time's your only friend, effectively. Yep. Yeah. So I've heard both sides of it, and there's a lot of guys who like think like, oh, it's like, oh, DCing is retarded. I'm like, get the fuck, bro. Everyone DCAs. Like, what are you talking about? You can call it dynamic DCAing or time-based DCAing or fucking weighted average DCAing. But you are dollar cost averaging. You're building a position at some point, right? Like you're gonna have different set points. But yeah, where can people follow you?
I'm mostly just on Twitter at nerdgirl007 with no vowels.
Perfect. And I've got all your details in the link down below and stuff like that. Obviously, you guys go follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to grow the Instagram and stuff. I'm trying to get every Hexagon on Instagram because I feel like this is the next wave. Like where we can get not just Hexagon, but just in crypto in general. Like if we've taken over Twitter, if we can just get everybody, even if it's just like a shadow account, with a meme picture, but everyone to get onto Instagram, it's really going to end up pushing the space along because then guys like a lot like Instagram is the main social media of the world right now. It really is. So if we're big on Instagram, it kind of really makes us a lot more powerful, and we can actually get more cooler people and celebrities and other influencers into the space, and we can actually really start onboarding a lot of people into crypto because that's the only way we're going to get the word out.
Cool. I hate Instagram, but I'll try to use it.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this though, they got the best memes. They really fucking do. Like it's like shorts and clips on YouTube are really good for information, but the clips are funny. They're not that funny. The funniest fucking ones are on Instagram. It's not even close. Like I won't go on TikTok because I just fucking hate TikTok. But it's not even close. The best memes are on Instagram. I can't even it's just like they're so fucking funny. Some of them are racist as fuck. They're hilarious. So definitely go follow me on there. Dollar Cost Crypto. I'm verified on all platforms and stuff. Go follow Nerd Girl and stuff. And thank you so much for joining me. It was really nice to talk to you. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Thursday 8 p.m. and again on Saturday at 1 p.m. So thank you so much and later.
You didn't have to